Hello pilots, this is Craig Gambo of TandemParagliding.org, and today we're going to go over how to splice your lines in the field. We customize kits for each individual glider out there, and we'll give you 10 meters of a larger diameter line to replace any main line, and we'll give you 5 meters length of a smaller diameter line that can replace any mid to upper line. And then we'll put in loops in those lines, and then when it's time to go use them, you put the end loop in the riser link, and you'll stretch it out side by side with the faulty line, and the end loop on the faulty line will match it up and make the mark. And we want to make this mark 360 degrees around the line. And then if the faulty line is broken, then obviously use the opposite line on the other side of the glider as a sample line for your length. Now this is the length that we want, and this part here is going this direction, is going to the risers, and this is going to the end of the line right here. And with that mark, now we got to figure out where to cut this. But what we're going to do is we're going to splice it with an end loop, and this part's going to be spliced inside of it, and then we're going to have an end loop on the end. And so the way we calculate that, we've provided a paragliding line splicing instructions with every field line replacement kit, and this is to fall back on when you forget everything that I'm showing you here today. But what it's basically saying is that you're just going to make a mark 30 millimeters on either side of the full mark, the first mark. So I made a mark 30 millimeters away from it on this side, 30 millimeters away from it on that side, on either side of it. And on my sheet here, I'll actually put these marks, these key measurement marks. But you can just use your thumb. And so I made a 30 mil mark, and then on either side of that main first mark, I'm also going to make a mark at 150 on this side of it, and then 150 on this side of it. And that's the part that's going to be spliced inside it, but that could just be the width of your hand. And then once I've made those marks, then I'm going to take my 150 mark that's near the end of the line, and I'm going to actually add a tail about 100 to 130 millimeters, and then that's where I'm going to cut my line. And then I'm going to take that tail and I'm going to feed it through this tapestry needle. So I'm going to bend it back. Tapestry needles we supply with the kits are straight, not bent like this one, but I ran out of them, so this is my demo one for today. Now we're going to find our main first mark that goes 360 degrees around. I'm going to go to the 30 millimeter mark on the riser side, not the end of the line side. That's where we're going to insert a tapestry needle to begin our loop. And so we just kind of squish it up, and that's where we're going to insert it into the center core of the line. And then we just, whoops, I just pulled it right out. And just keep feeding it. And when it pokes out through the side, just back it up. But if you push it up, hold one side of it, it'll squish up better, and then it'll actually feed a little bit better. And we'll go all the way to the 150 millimeter mark, and that's where we exit. And so bear with me here as I feed this. There's a 150 mil mark. We'll come out the side, and now you can see this part here. You got to crease it back real good, and then we're just going to roll this ever so gently until it works its way over it, and then it'll slide over it. And then see, this is going to be our end loop eventually. Then we pull the end of the line completely out, the 150 millimeter mark, and then we're going to line the other. There's another mark on this line at 150 millimeters. Oops, I passed it. It's way. So we back it up. We'll pull the loop to get back to it. Where is it? Lost it. I think I'm back inside it. Oh, there. No, I'm actually right on it. Okay, so we lined up the 150 millimeter marks. We're not going to worry about this alignment in. And what I'm going to do here is we're going to pull it past it about 30 millimeters. And then we're going to cut it off. So pretend that I've cut it, because I don't want to cut this new line. 30 millimeters longer than this tail. Okay, and then with that cut there, that way it's going to draw it up inside when I'm done with my loop. And so here's my full mark, first full mark, and that's gonna be the apex, and then so obviously I have to take the tail of this and pull it through until these two 30mm marks line up, and once they've lined up, then I'm gonna take my pinch from here and put it at the Y, and now I'm gonna milk this all down. And when I milk it all down, it'll lengthen it. And as I was telling you earlier, this is my 150mm mark, but we've cut it 30mm up from there, so that end of the tail is going to be inside the core, and that's our goal. And then with that inside, there's our spliced end loop, and now we're going to take the needle and thread that's in your field line replacement kit, and we're just going to poke the needle through and go back and forth, sewing it until we have about 30mm at a minimum. A little bit longer would be better because it's not done by a sewing machine, maybe double that. And once you've sewn that, cut it. You don't have to do any lock stitching, but you can if you'd like. And then just take a lighter and melt the ends of the bonded polyester thread, and they'll melt, and then just smash them, and they'll mushroom head into the aramid line. This aramid is very heat resistant, so you don't have to worry about it burning, but you don't want to put the flame directly up to you. You just want to just tap it against the polyester thread until it starts melting, and then pinch it. And that'll be your field line replacement. Hopefully that helps you. Take care.